out there here in YouTube world, I gotta, what? High moderation help to build. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm live on YouTube. This is new. This is a, whoa. It's definitely been a moment. Whoa. What's going on here? We were working here. There we go. It's definitely been a moment since I've been live on YouTube, and I'm literally having a moment where I'm like, okay, I've mixed things up. I'm out of my comfort zone right now. And I'm like, woo, woo. Like, you know, so admittedly, again, for those coming on, I'm in that space where it's like, again, I've mixed things up. I'm going live, and we're also going to talk about a few different things tonight. After having an awesome client call this afternoon, that was, again, absolutely awesome. And some things were brought up about when my group, you know, if I'd launched my group yet and what's going on. So if you're coming on, woo, I admittedly am feeling extremely uncomfortable because I mixed up my cameras and my process here. And like I said, we're going to be talking about some slightly different things. Well, slightly different. We're going to talk about manifesting with the new moon, with the whole moon cycle, all of that. And we're going to, I'm going to be sharing a little bit tonight about my own process that I literally have put together a little book that is my entire downloaded manifesting moon cycle. It's the whole cycle of the moon that you are going to manifest with. And we've done this, I've actually done this several times. You're going to start to hear some of the posts, some of the feedback from goddesses who've been in these group experiences. And we're going to be having one next month. So that's number one, officially that announcement. But we're going to get into the very beginning of this. And this is like the preparation. Yes, tonight's new moon. I am one of those people where I very firmly have learned that you can harness the new moon energies as well as obviously the full moon energies of each, both the night before and the night after. So you actually have like 3 nights to do this. And a lot of times it seems as though the calendars, like I tend to have different calendars, and it will show the new moon on one day, but then like the night before the next. Like it's really fascinating. Wow, I have 6 hi on YouTube. This is like my first live in a hot minute. Woo! And then you fell forward. What happened? Orientation is locked. What happened? Rotate device back. Oh no! What has happened here? Hi, Aiden. I don't know what's happening here. I did rotate the device back. What is going on? There's a weird thing. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. Oh my goodness. Orientation is locked. Okay. As long as I'm the right side up, I'm fine with that. That's so weird. Okay. Okay. See, like I said, I'm all discombobulated, so everybody bear with me. Hello, Goddess Therese. Awesome to see you over here. You're seeing me in my state. And this is a bummer because now my screen is really dark. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now I can see comments on YouTube. Again, I don't know what's happened. It must be something with the YouTube app. Anyway, welcome. Sorry. Technical challenges here. Thank you. No, I do not wear makeup. Oh my goodness, this is so fun. Nice tapestry, thank you. We're in like my forest of trees here. So if you all are new, my name is Rochelle, and welcome here to Empowerment Experiences, where we are healing twin flames. We're healing our traumas, our wounds, our inner child. We're reclaiming our power. Period. Okay? Looking for, finding, and reclaiming our power. That's what we do. And so you see, I do card readings regularly. We've been hanging out on TikTok, and Instagram and a little bit on Facebook doing readings live, and we might get into those here shortly. Because you all are going to sit with me and we're going to do swipe to view. There's so much going on these screens, and I'm feeling, again, like I said, a little discombobulated. What happened to my, oh, there it is. Okay. Lots of card readers tonight. Oh, are they? Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's why I'm mixing it up. It's full moon, it's new moon tonight. So I wanted to share, like I said, a little bit about my own manifesting moon process that I have offered and have been doing for years with goddesses on my journey here and on their journeys. And it's this entire moon cycle process where you have prep work leading up to the new moon. And then there's, yes, the new moon ritual that we do. And then there's work in between, right? Through the phases in between the new moon and the full moon that we have to do to align and allow with the visions that we want. And then, of course, we have to have a full moon ritual. And then there are a few things that you want to continue to do after you have done the whole cycle, even though, right, there's still that after that you want to continue with. So, woo! This, again, I feel discombobulated. Normally I don't feel so doing lives, but like I said, it's the first time being live on YouTube in, I don't know, probably maybe since last year, but I'm in a different space than what I normally do. So I appreciate all of you for hanging out and being here with me. Now, to do this manifesting moon ritual, like I said, I'm going to let you in. First of all, this is my book, my entire process here that you have, and it walks you through it. So you actually get a whole kit that I'm going to show you here shortly of all the different tools that we use. But again, to start this process right quick, we got to do a little bit of, like I said, prep work, and that means journaling. Journaling. Who does not like journaling? Okay, that's not a fun question. Who does like journaling? Me? Who doesn't journal but can tell that their mind gets full? Because you need to journal. I'm telling you. As a Gemini who tends to overthink and have so much going on, you got to get it out. Goddess Therese, she's like, I was just looking for this info earlier. Yes, right? And I'm going to let you all know that I'm just touching on, some of the steps in what I do, and that's just mainly the prep work we're doing together tonight. So get your journals. We're going to hang out for a little bit. Get your journals, and let's clear this and get you ready to call in what you want to be calling in for this moon cycle. And we'll just do a little bit together here, But while you get your journals and get yourself ready, I got to tell you, there's a goddess party on Tuesday. I've been remiss at announcing it. I have, again, been in my own a little bit of self-sabotage on top of all of the things that I've been learning so that I will be able to bring it into the group that's launching with the Manifesting Moon ritual next month, the end of next month, for the next moon cycle. Okay, next moon cycle. So, goddess party Tuesday evening. Sorry, gentlemen. Yes, it is for, I'm hearing the song Natural Woman, naturally born women. Okay, in this day and age, it's just about creating those safe spaces for women. Okay, so let's start. Who's ready with the journals? Me. Okay, now I am a sucker for multiple colored pens. I like to color code my chit when I journal. And what we're going to do, I'm going to actually read to you for a moment out of here. It says, all you need to be prepared to harness the powers of the moon is number one, a few days prior to the new moon. I know we're doing it this evening. It's been a bit much, so it's all good. Give yourself grace. It's okay, right? Declutter physically and energetically by cleaning up and purging your physical environment as well as your very being, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. That's why we're going to do some journaling. That's why we're going to clear out, release some things, some forgiveness and such. Everything is energy and thus takes up space. Let go of what no longer serves to allow what does. And there's a bit more. I'm not going to keep reading the whole little book for you, unless you want me to. You know, I'm just saying, like, I'm feeling, like I said, discombobulated and totally in an unfamiliar, unknown space for whatever reason right now. Oh, I got please. Well, of course. All right, let's continue. Whoa, why is that? Okay, hold on. Let me see my comments. Oh, top chat. What happened? There it is. Please. Okay. Why is this being... Oh, that's why, because there was something that was behind that. Okay. This is fun. I'm having fun. Are we having fun here? I'm having fun. I appreciate you all for hanging out. All right, so continuing on. Energetically, you must release that which you've been carrying. That's weighing you down. Wow. Just give me a moment, please. Oh, woo. Listen, I almost sabotaged and didn't even show up tonight. That's why, again, all of this has got me all discombobulated. Okay. But we're doing this. This is how you keep going into and through a space when you're uncomfortable, but you know it's where you're supposed to go. Okay? Okay, so we're going together. Let me say this again then. Energetically, you must release that which you've been carrying that's weighing you down. The most powerful and profound practice for achieving this release is the ancient Hawaiian purge process called Ho'oponopono. Pause. Show of hands in the room. Who has heard of this ancient Hawaiian practice, Ho'oponopono? Anybody? And I'm about to tell you what I call it, and I've been calling it for years. It's so powerfully impactful that I've called it the forgiveness freedom practice for many years. Because I know for certain that it's for giving you the freedom to move on with your life. And what was that? That's so weird. It doesn't leave. Where'd it go? There it went. There, man. Says, thank you, discombobulated. That's a good word. I'm going to use that more. I know, right? And you see, I like to mix it up and say discombobulated. But yeah, discombobulated. That's one of my favorite words. I'm a words woman. I love certain words like flummoxed, flabbergasted. I'm even of the generation of saying the alphabet as a word. Thank you, Big Bird. Thank you, Big Bird. Y'all want me to say it? I'll happily say how you say the alphabet as a word. So the biggest word you've ever heard, and the one word that's going to have every letter of the alphabet in it. Anyway, that said, so again, the forgiveness freedom practice, the Ho'oponopono ancient Hawaiian practice, I call it the forgiveness freedom practice because it is for giving you the freedom to move on with your life. You see, when we hold on to shit, oh God. Thank you. This wonderful example. So you're at an event, and I'm sure I know plenty of people that have done this. You're out at a wonderful, fun event, a carnival, a festival, and you're having fun, you've splurged, you've won prizes, you've got bag of goodies here, a something over here, and you got to carry that. And then you got to keep carrying it. And guess what? The car is like half a mile freaking away. Okay? So when you're all said and done, and oh, you got some stones and crystals, did ya? That shit gets heavy. The more you get. So you're carrying. And so the longer you carry it through the day, not only is that compounding how heavy that feels, but the more you travel as well. So you got the time that you're carrying it, and the more that you are working and hauling that load, that's the exact same idea, the vision of carrying all this extra baggage. So if you're carrying resentment, regret, guilt, shame, that's shit you don't need to carry. You don't need to carry it. And it's taking up space. So like I can even say, and those who may be new to my world, those who are not Goddess Therese, appreciate you, Goddess. They know, I share exactly like my own challenges. I'm not done here. I may be able to coach others into and through their experiences where they are, but you bet your bottom dollar, I still have all of my learning and challenges that I have to go and grow through. And so I can see, based on the stories and the things that I'm focusing on, there is definitely a thing or two in there that, there's some regret, some resentment, even if towards myself for certain choices that I made. Right? And so that's kind of also linked with that regretting making that choice, but then being resentful that you made that choice, right? Upset with yourself, and or the other person involved, right? So we are the ones who have to be releasing that, so that we're not only creating space, but we're also putting down the heavy load. You're putting down what isn't yours to be carrying. You don't need to keep holding on to this, right? So, you definitely don't want to keep holding on to this because, again, that is what is holding you back, weighing you down, keeping you farther longer apart from what you desire to be experiencing and manifesting for yourself. I can see this so clearly as someone who manifested literally a round trip to India and back, the trip itself in less than 90 days, and doing this having had no resources saved, no plans, no passport. I had never even been off the North American continent before when I had done this. And I literally manifested every component, including the trip, within a 90-day time frame. Mind blown. So that is my biggest, holy kind of manifestations that I've ever done for myself. That's so in it and working through everything that I went through. And this process was one of the practices that I utilized with doing my intentional manifesting with the powers of the moon and going through this entire process here. We're not going to go through the whole process tonight, obviously, because no. I'll give you some bullet points for what you want to do moving forward. But for tonight, again, the prep work we're doing is we're creating this space. We're letting this go so that what we're calling in has room to come in. It has our attention, our focus, our energy on what it is that we are calling in and we are creating for ourselves. So this is one of my quotes that even one of my best friends, she writes it at the beginning of her journal every year. It's called Backlog of Bullshit, Blocking Your Blessings. And so with that, it says, it's time to be clearing the backlog of bullshit that's been blocking your blessings. Isn't it, Goddess? Isn't it? So grab your journal, right? And I say included in your toolkit, which I'm going to show you really quick. Oh, wait, no, I have one right here. I knew I had one. This, of course, it matches. This is the very first, because there's a sequence of journals that will come once you're in the group, because we're going to do this, you know, at least twice a year, because we want to be practicing these things and harnessing the moons. But my manifesting moon empowerment experiences. So this is obviously, I'm going to use my journal. I want to use every one of these, let me tell you, but I'm like, these are not just for me to have. They're for everybody to have. All right. So with that, grab your journal and let's do this a little bit together this evening. So grab your journal, grab your pens. They're plural. If you're in my world, we do plural pens around here. We like colors. All right. Grab your journal, include it in your toolkit, and let's get started with Ho'oponopono. The powerful AF forgiveness freedom practice. So this is A. To implement the forgiveness freedom practice, first, write a list of all people and experiences, right? Because it may be a thing that you experienced, right? Someone cut you off while you were driving. You don't know who the fuck they are. You have no name for them, but right? If it's something that's at you, it's asking for your attention. All right. Put it on the list. Okay. So first, write a list of all people and experiences for which you are offering and granting. Offering and granting. It's two-part there. Forgiveness. Including and especially to and for yourself. Through these years of coaching, not just doing the manifesting moon process, but in my coaching groups in general, working with clients, so often is the very root correlated to you. It's connected to you and the shit that you're holding over yourself, right? So obviously put the other individual, but make sure you look at that and say, oh, do I actually need to put me on that list because I'm the one that made the choice. I'm the one that stepped into that space. I did that. Whereas Shaggy says it wasn't me, this is a time when you're going to step up and go, yep, that was me. That was me. You see, and you may experience that shame. You want to, but it is necessary that you process through these emotions, these states of being. You don't want to suppress or repress. That's what turns into dis-ease within the body, right? You're keeping these toxins within you, and you need to be getting them out of you. And that's a huge reason to do the Ho'oponopono practice. The Ho'oponopono practice is because it is empowering you, or you are empowering yourself with the ability to release this shit. And you may need to do it multiple times. It may be on your list multiple times, because as long as it's coming up, you've got something tied to it. There's something that you need to release in regards to that. And like I said, once you have really looked at the outside, look in the inside, okay? All right. It is important to both understand, sidebar here, we have understand, innerstand, and overstand, okay? Understand means you stand under something. Innerstand means you're standing inner. It's an inner comprehension. It's an inner focused. Like that knowing is in you. And then overstanding is like standing over something, having an overarching view, an overarching perspective of whatever the situation or circumstance may be. Okay? We got that? All right, back over here. It is important to both understand and overstand that forgiveness is for giving you the freedom to move on with your life. That is so important to drive home that, yes, it's written both on page 1 and page 2. That's how we really remember things, right? I'm feeling so much better. How about you? All right, so by holding on to grudges and living in the past, you infect, yes, like a disease, like a virus, like a insect, putting an infection, whatever, you infect your present and deny yourself the abundant future you desire. I'm going to say that again. By holding on to grudges and living in the past, you infect your present and deny yourself the abundant future you desire. Okay. All right, so that's A. Now we're going to take a pause. And we're going to take just a minute or two in your journals because we're doing this accountability. Okay? And we're going to write your first 5 things because I know y'all got 5 things. I know y'all got 5 things that you're ready to let go of, right? Right? All right. Let me grab a swig of agua. Okay, right quick, number 1. All right, I don't need to read this out loud, so everybody's doing, we're going to take, let me see here. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I have a young little girl in my world that she used to be all when she was younger. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right. People and experiences for which you are offering and granting forgiveness. For those coming on, we're making a list of 5 things that we are offering and granting forgiveness. Okay? Manifesting with the new moon. Okay. Oh, yeah, that was a big one. I'm on number 5. Oh, has it been? It's been 2 minutes, 30 more seconds. Number 5. That's what I'm on. Number 5, right? Okay. I will admit, I tend to release a lot of things with regards to other people. I tend to be pretty detached. And most everything is like, oh, me, I made that choice. Oh, shit, I did that. Yeah. Oh, boom. Me for holding so much regret and resentment towards myself for choices I've made. And I'm probably saying this for a lot of us in the room, right? Because you see, we don't learn if we don't make a decision to step into the unknown, the never having done this before. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And this is uncomfortable. Just like at the beginning of this live, I'm like, oh geez, I'm not like just pulling cards for everyone. I mean, I'm not just, but I wanted to do something a little different and share with you all one of the practices that I love, and goddesses who've all experienced it, they love it too. And like I said, you're going to be hearing some of those, the feedback that's coming on my accounts here, Instagram, TikTok, and yes, YouTube, in the way of shorts on YouTube. It's going to be shorts. All right. So yes, number 5, me for regret and resentment. For choices made and not made. Ooh, that one's a good, and not made. Okay. So I got my 5. All right, everybody. Do we have our 5 things that we are forgiving? And we're gonna go through this process. Okay. We're gonna actually go through, because I even put it in the book here, and I even put like my little take on it, because even though, yes, it's an ancient practice, I am really big on affirming and actually speaking the action that I am intending is taking place, right? So with that, we have our list of 5 things that we are forgiving. Step B is, with each item on the list, declare and expand into the following in your own way. So, first, you'll say, I'm sorry. So you'll read, and I have no shame. I'm like, again, you got to own it, right? Me for self-sabotaging so much. Like I said, I almost didn't go live again tonight. I've been wanting to go live almost every night, and then feeling, that's why down here, regret and resentment, right? And then feeling not good for having not gone live. Making up whatever self-sabotaging BS, belief systems, bullshit in my head, because that's what we do. This is why things like this is so important, because you are then giving yourself the opportunity to look at where your power is hiding. To see directly in your line of sight where your power has been acquiesced, where you've given it away, what is holding power over you, so that you can say, oh, wow, we're not doing that anymore. Right? So I'm sorry. You may say, like, that you felt you had to act this way, that I acted this way, for the pain that we both have experienced from this, all other ways that you feel this. You can say, I'm sorry. Whatever comes for you, I'm sorry to myself for sabotaging myself so much in all the ways that I love being here with all of you, even though, again, we're not pulling cards just yet. You got to stick around for that, or come back in a little bit for that if you want that. Because we'll probably pull one. We'll do something. So because we love to pull cards, but doing something different. And it was highly uncomfortable. I was very, discombobulated. That's the word of the night, right? Discombobulated. I was very discombobulated there for a moment. Like, I was feeling hot. My blood pressure was up, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm basically a live stream pro. I mean, I've gone live so much and through all these years, right, Goddess Therese? been live a lot. So I'm not new to this. It was just, ooh, that self-saboteur. She working overtime lately. I'm like, ain't nobody paying her. Don't know what she's thinking, right? But that's it. All right. So that's the first step, though. Back to Ho'oponopono, forgiveness, freedom practice. You say, I'm sorry. And you're going to do that for each one of these. So obviously you want to write this down because we're not going to go through all of them. So write down is I'm sorry. And you can, those, especially all my peeps on YouTube, and those I know like everybody's on YouTube, right? Go search Ho'oponopono, and you're most likely going to find meditations. There is one particular one that I use. I didn't create it, but I utilize one that is on YouTube that I use for me. In fact, what I can do, if you want to get on my email list, I can email you all that link. I'm not going to send like everybody the link. I couldn't even tell you the name of the channel off the top of my head. But it's wonderful. It's a 30-minute, it's actually a 30-minute guided Ho'oponopono practice and meditation. It's powerful. It's very, very powerful. All right, so first, I'm sorry is the first step of the Ho'oponopono practice. Step 2 is please forgive me. Or it could even be, I forgive you. So you could be asking, please forgive me, especially if it's to and from yourself, with yourself. Offer yourself both both antidotes, right? Because you are both parts. So offer that to yourself. Please forgive me. I forgive you. For the pain and consequences caused and created. That's what I put a little blurb there. So I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I love you. When was the last time you actually said that to yourself? I love you. I have 3 screens of my face staring back at me right now. I love you times 3, baby. Infinity, baby. No. I just had to rhyme with 3. That's what rhymed with 3, right? So, I love you for the learning you have provided in this experience to help me grow in strength, understanding, and overstanding. I put that in there. Oh, by the way, any of these words, you better believe I have a glossary of words, terms, and phrases at the back of the book because I am just that kind of person. I am so proud of this, and it is going to be a home-printed, hand-stapled, hand-trimmed by yours truly book in this kit. And again, you will be able to get this next month for the first time ever. I'm so excited about this whole new kit. If you cannot tell. Okay. So, Ho'oponopono though. Hocus pocus focus. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts and blessings this experience and you have taught me. And whether that, again, is for someone else that you're expressing gratitude for the gifts that they've given you through this experience, through this learning, through this opportunity, through this challenge that is an opportunity for growth. You are then accepting the gifts by expressing that gratitude. You're receiving that. And then as I mentioned, so those are the 4 steps of the core of the Ho'oponopono ancient Hawaiian forgiveness practice. I call it the forgiveness freedom practice. But I added a 5th step that I like to do just to really affirm for myself that I am letting this shit go. I am putting it down. I am done. Just, go away, I'm done. I don't want to carry this anymore. I definitely am releasing this. And that is why I say, I release you, I release me, I release this, I let it go. So I can let it flow. I mean, you gotta have fun. Universe likes to have fun with you, right? But yeah, you are releasing it. You're letting it go, and affirm that for yourself so that you actually can hear yourself say, I am done. I'm definitely done. And I've put it down, and now I am ready to step forward lighter, more confident, more sure-footed, ready for what is coming your way. All the exciting new adventures and your manifestations coming in. So this is what you want to do. You want to do this entire process. Again, particularly the 4 main ones of I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Those are the core of the Ho'oponopono practice. And like I said, the 5th one is my own little extra bonus thing of just releasing it, affirming that you are releasing this, all right? So, and I actually do put the link. I mean, it means you got to type it out of the book, but when you're in a part of the experience, you do get the link because we'll have a private group on Telegram. I've used that app for years, almost since the beginning of my coaching. It was the one that I settled on way back when. It wasn't super popular then, a lot more people know about it now. But everything about it, it's a secure space wherein it's a private group and nobody's getting in unless I let them in. Okay, so that is in there. That said, that was step C, was to go do that YouTube meditation. And then step D, the final step for the actual journal prep work for the new moon ritual, is to make sure to hold space for yourself to rest and recover following this often intense energetic release. So if you're doing these 5 items, and not even just these 5, because I'm sure there's more. I mean, we always have a few things, but you usually want to do, definitely, I would say 5 for sure. And you're going to do, like I said, this whole process with each and every one of them individually. So you'll go through that and you'll acknowledge it, and you'll actually process the releasing and the healing of this. And then you want to, like I said, go and do this guided meditation. Take it one step further. Really surrender into and through whatever emotions, whatever healing space your own soul takes you into and through. That's why it's not just this, but that's why it's a multifaceted experience here, right? All right, let me see. We have a question here on It's Just User. That's fun. Hi. How long do I know if my manifesting is working? Oh, how do I know? Why did I see the word long? How do I know if my manifesting is working? You're going to know. Well, first of all, you have to trust that it is. Because that right there is like a doubt energy. But how can I like, you're not the supervisor of it. All right. So I just want to say that. That being said, though, how do you know? You are going to begin to experience more and more synchronicities. You may experience, though, at the same time, shit falling apart. I know that can sound a little unnerving, but if you're calling in or manifesting something that's life-changing, literally changing, like where you live, you want to move to a new place, or you want to have a whole new job, whatever that looks like. If it's something that literally changes this whole makeup of your life, you can most likely expect some sort of turbulence is a word for it, right? Some sort of tower moment, some sort of breaking down, the crumbling of that old so that the new can fit. That's why the whole point of this forgiveness practice, right? Again, we're clearing out all that energetic space of all this garbage that we've been carrying that we don't need to carry anymore, because the version of you that's living in the vision that you desire to be living, she ain't carrying that shit. She ain't got room for it. She ain't got room for it. I like to also say, I don't have the bandwidth. You don't have the energetic bandwidth to carry something that's that heavy, that's truly down in those lower vibrations, that's denser than where you want to be, which is in this higher vibe, feel good. My life is, I'm in joy. I'm in appreciation. I am so ecstatic and excited for my life. Okay. So another way to test if manifestation is working, let the universe, test the universe. You can do it because it's not really a test. It's a game. Like the universe is like, oh, let's play. Because is that not what manifesting is? It's like a game. And listen, you're already manifesting. So that's another way to look at this person's question, just user. It's so funny, not funny. Asking, how do I know if my manifesting is working? Well, first of all, look at your life and what are the stories you're telling about your life? Do they kind of match what you're experiencing? The stories that you're telling about your life? Even if it's kind of something that came in, like the context of the details and the experience itself, something that came in that you're like, the fuck, I didn't want that. I didn't ask for that. What? Whoa. But it's because of the vibration you were on. It's because of the story you were already telling and focusing on before, what fears you may have been focusing on, what doubts, what, again, this is why we release resentment and shame and blame and guilt. And we work through all of that to release that, because otherwise that's an energetic point of attraction inside you. And so you're going to attract to you experiences aligned with what you are experiencing inside you. And I say this because, again, I recently went through what I consider a definite karmic relationship, because there was so much after I had an opportunity to have finally, like, I had 90 days, I had 3 months to clear out this individual space. And then it was like, wow, doing this work on myself and looking at what the mirroring was. What was this person showing me? What was I experiencing? How was my life before, when I first met them? And how was my life at that point? You know, what really looking at my mindset, my, you know, all the different facets of myself, and having truly deduced at that point going, oh my gosh, woo, that was like serious karma healing in the respect of sabotages, long-held beliefs stemming particularly from when I was a teenager. Because when you do this inner child, when you do this healing journey, you're going to find that you're going to start at the very beginning. You're going to start young. You're going to start with your true inner young child in the womb, even, because I've done I've done hypnosis regression. That's the word. Gosh, I'm having a challenge right now. So I've done that, and I've gone even back into being in my mother's womb. So I've had these experiences. So you do all of that. You do all of that work, and you go and you grow. So you actually, as you do this healing, you really do move through the phases of life in your healing. And so this individual was very, very correlated with my teenage self, because I kept saying so much about how he's 15. Well, like, I can't believe how it's just 15. And then I would look at myself and go, oh my goodness. And how I was thinking about myself and feeling about myself at that time in my life. And so again, the point being here is that these are the kinds of long held deep, like the deep work. That's what inner child healing is. It's doing that deeper shit, that shadow work, right? That these deeper traumas and wounds and stories are clearly not in alignment with my life and vision that I am creating for myself and being called to create. So all of that is up at the surface. All of that it's ready to be released. And so that's something to note too, that if you are having this recurring, especially certain recurring beliefs, perspectives, statements that you're making about your life, stories that you're telling about your life, and they're really loud, it's because they're right there. They're ready to be looked at, they're ready to be processed, and they are ready to be released. That's why they're there. That's why they're so in your face, is so you can finally look at them and say, your job is done here. Your job is done here. I'm putting it down. I'm releasing this. I'm done. You may go now. You may go. Right? And then you integrate the learning. That's what the greatest gift is from all of this experience. Is you get to be better in who you are now because you're wiser. You're more experienced. You're more integrated. You're more expanded into who you can truly be and are here to truly be. Cheers to that. So, with that, you're all going to take away that you're going to do your forgiveness freedom practice. I recommend you do that tonight because you can still do the new moon ritual tomorrow, and I am going to give you some tips and on doing that right quick here, and then I will we'll pull a couple cards right quick. Okay? All right. So this is the primary prep work before the new moon. All right. Then the actual new moon ritual, you're going to need a few tools, and you're going to do one more journaling exercise, which this, again, you do after you've cleared the space. After you've cleared the space. For the new moon ritual event itself, so new moon ritual prep, there was the journal. This was the kit, but I have I got new journals, so I'm really excited. Anyway, you're going to ask yourself and explore in your journal the answers to, and write this down. I'll say it a couple times, so if you want to write this down. Now, this is being recorded on YouTube. I did not record it separate. I definitely wish I did because now I'm good, but it was, again, a funky setup. I will have replay clips on TikTok too coming. All right, so the question you want to ask is, knowing I am fully supported and am allowed anything my heart and soul desire, what do I desire to call and am calling into my life? I'm going to ask it again because I know that's a hefty question there. Knowing I am fully supported and am allowed anything my heart and soul desire, what do I desire to call and am calling into my life? Let me know if you want me to say it again. Write each from a space of gratitude and already having them in this moment of now. So when I manifested my trip to India, I was doing actually a specific practice, a 555 practice, wherein I wrote a single affirming statement that was a full encompassment of my arriving in India on January 14th, 2019. And you bet your asses I did. I literally stepped foot in Mumbai, India, January 14th, Arizona local time. Because they're like, you know, forever and a day ahead, right? Like a whole day ahead, right? But Arizona time, I landed and stepped foot in India on the exact date that I declared and embodied that I would. So the magic of this statement was, however, and is when you really are honed in on a specific desire and you are able to align with it, that is key. Okay? I start my statements out exactly with, I am so grateful, excited, and blessed to blah, 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 blah. I am so grateful, excited, and blessed. And then whatever that statement is. So that's how I highly recommend you write each and every one of these, whatever facets or components of this vision you have, or if it's just a specific vision that you want to focus on for this moon cycle, because we have 12 moon cycles in the year. So it's not like you can't just do this every month. And that's what's magical about this kit, is that you're going to have this process for life. You're going to be able to do this every month you want to, whenever you want to. Well, you want to do it with the moon, but you know. All right. So, and that's exactly what I wrote in here. I recommend using this. Yeah. Complete the list at the very bottom. You want to sign it off in essence and like stamp that yes. Complete the list with, I ask this or something better for the highest good of all. So be it, and so it is. Again, I ask this or something better for the highest good of all. So be it, so it is. And then what you're going to do, because you want to put that in your journal, because you're going to write it again. Yes, write it again. Listen, we're in a day and age of computer. There is a disconnect, and I cannot shout this loud enough. There is a disconnect when you type something versus when you write it. Think about it. All that energy coursing all through your body. And straight to the paper, straight the word, literally through your hands. Write it out. So you want to write it out initially in your journal. But then for the ritual, you're going to write, and that's part of this whole process too, is because you need to affirm it more. You need to read it more and speak it more and program this into your mind anyway. So thus the reason why I was led to create it this way, that you will write it in your journal. And then on a separate piece of paper, which is why I love that the kits, I actually like this. At first I wasn't too keen on it. However, because of this process, and we do it for both the new moon and we have a separate type of ritual for the full moon later in the month, there's actually serrated pages in this journal book. So it's more like a journal notebook. And so you're going to be able to tear out. So you're going to write it in the actual journal, the same book that you have it in. And then you're going to need to tear them out because you need to have the pages separate here. You need to have your paper separate because you're going to use this in the ritual. Okay? But you want to make sure that you have your vision because you're going to want to read it. You're going to want to read it over and over and over, morning and night, right before you go to bed, right when you wake up in the morning. You need to be driving that home. See, there's so much to this. That's why I'm like, we're not going through the whole thing, you know. Plus, I can only imagine what my battery life is like. Let me see. Okay, we're all right on that. Yeah, right? Okay. So, on a separate piece of paper, right? And so sign it to seal the deal. So put your actual signature at the bottom of that page after you write, so be it, so it is. Sign it. However you acknowledge yourself, that you're saying, that's me. I'm claiming this. This is what I'm calling in. All right? Then you're going to want to get some tools for the new moon. Tools, and these are tools that I actually include in the kit. You want a little candle for the new moon? You're going to use a white candle. We got a black one for the full moon, but you'll see why later in the month. Or, well, closer to the full moon, because the moon is next month. Anyway, so a little white candle, because you want this whole thing to burn down. You're going to use this whole candle in the ritual. That's why they're, right? So you're going to obviously paper and pen, because you're going to want, which you don't even need, you can take your journal, right? I would even recommend taking your journal with you so that you're able to write gratitude, because that's what you're going to do while this candle burns down. Okay, so you want a fire-safe container, obviously, right? And you want to do this in a safe space. Oh, hold on, TikTok. There's a thing. No, you ain't gonna end. I'm here. Oh, shit. I took my thumb off the screen too quick. Okay. All right, so fire-safe container. And then I also recommend, like in this part of my process, that you save your ashes from this. There's a whole thing that'll come later. All right. So that's what you need, your primary things: the candle, your manifesting list, as well as separate journal, something, paper, journal, notebook, whatever you desire to do some gratitude journaling in, because what you're going to do is you got to set your point of attraction, right? That's why we're doing this ritual. So with that, obviously I do also have suggestions of, stones and crystals like you're going to be getting in the kit. It's actually a dyed agate geode. I did not know it was dyed when I fell in love with them, but everybody's going to get a unique dyed agate, and it just makes me think of like the moon in its own way, but the gorgeous little designs. I mean, the camera never does it justice. It seriously doesn't, I swear. And then, so you'll get one of those. Like, there's all these tools we use. See, this is a quartz, and everybody in this who gets this kit, who joins this group, you get an actual quartz that I picked up myself off of Mineral Mountain in the Superstition Mountains of Arizona. I went out on this rock hounding adventure myself, and I brought back so many pieces of quartz that there was a guide that you could call him a guide that we had, who took us out, and he looked at me as I had my bag full of quartz, and he's just like, I don't know if you're going to make it out with all that. And I'm like, watch me. I was carrying that bag like a baby, because we had to walk back in there. So yeah, there's other stones and crystals, but there's more to come on that. Especially if you follow my page, you're going to see more and more of what's coming. So with that, oh, and then also, which I don't have like it with me, but here's more of the little kit. Well, you'll have your white candles in here, black candles, which is coloring the bag there. And then you'll have Palo Santo and sage. All of this comes in the kit also. Because we will use some of this clearing energy, these clearing practices with our Palo Santo or sage, whatever you choose, for these rituals as well. So yeah, yeah. And then of course, this is I love this spray so much. It's an energy spray a good friend of mine makes, and it was my very first spray of hers I fell in love with years ago. So you'll get this. It's Calming Moonlight Rays. Literally, that was always the name of the spray. And it is my favorite spray of hers. And so that's why I had to include them, because I do bring these when I do my group experiences, and I would spritz around my iPad that we're doing Zoom on and be like, all right, everybody, let's spritz, let's clear our energy. And of course, I always have such amazing goddesses in the group that, oh, mercy, it's just absolutely divine. So So those are just some of the tools, though, that I not only include in the kit, but I recommend that, again, you utilize some tools. Hello, Goddess Jen. But you utilize additional empowerment tools for yourself. That's why, like, some of these stones, I just added labradorite. So you're going to get a piece of labradorite. Again, this never does it justice. And then I got to show you, because I love all of these. There's some galena, the silver, like the silver moon. You'll get that. And then, oh my gosh. So this is a stone I'd never heard of until like last year. And I have fallen in love with this, right? This is called preonite. And they like make itself into little balls. And this one is, I think this one is one, it's called a Stone of the Gods. Let me read some of these really quick, because you're going to get, again, you're going to get this whole little pouch full of goodies. This is rainbow peacock or pyrite. Let me get to that in a moment. But look, let me see really quick here. Preonite, I was right. Crystal of the Gods. That's what preonite is called. Crystal of the Gods. So you will, you'll get one of those in there. Like, and of course, like you see here, you're going to get all of the stones, all of the stone descriptions and what they're good for. Even galena, because you're going to get 80 grams. Like, I've weighed these out for 80 grams, and there's a reason why, because of the number 880 for you. So all of that is in there. Again, all of these tools. Oh, here was rainbow peacock or pyrite, which again, in this lighting, just doesn't even begin to do justice. Just be following me on these accounts here where you're watching me, and I will be posting. I have started posting on TikTok. But they're coming on YouTube. They're in my shorts. So stay tuned for that. All right. So there's those stones, crystals, tools, empowerment tools. Moving on. And I do have them also in the book. So you will have what the stones and crystals are that you're getting in the kit. They are in the Manifesting Moon book. All right. And again, for those who may be just joining, what we're doing is we're preparing for the new moon ritual. You guys are getting to prepare. I'm doing it for myself to start, because next month I'm officially launching my new group. Woo! I'm so excited. I've been having goddesses asking me about it who've been in my circle for years now and are like, have you launched the group yet? And I'm like, honey, you would be the first to know. You would be one of the first to know. No, I haven't, right? But we're officially launching this bad boy, and we're kicking it off with one of my most loved group experiences, which is the Manifesting Moon Ritual Empowerment Experience. And it is harnessing the entire moon cycle, the powers of all throughout it. We do prep work before the new moon, and then we do the new moon ritual, and then there's plenty of work in those darn near 2 weeks in between the new moon and the full moon. And then we do a full moon ritual for its own purposes. And then, yes, there is follow-up work that you want to do and continue to do in order to align with and actually allow in what you're calling in. So I'm really excited, though, to do it this time, because this is the first time that this experience has had a toolkit that I get to send to you. I love being able to give you everything that you need in order to feel truly empowered and do what you want to be doing with yourself in your life and be creating what you want to be creating. So, with that, next, powers the night to harness and focus the powers of the new moon. So I'm going to give you the overview, the checklist here. And then, yeah, for those who are still on, if you would like a card, because we're going to pull cards for at the very end before any and all of the batteries die on me here. I don't know what we're at here. Okay, good. We're still okay on Instagram, even though that's always quiet there by now. All right. So for the new moon ritual, just little bullet point here. Number 1, You're going to light the candle under the light of the new moon. You're going to light your candle. Now make sure, again, you have your candle, you have your, what you're calling in, that so be it, so it is, your manifestation list, and you have an additional pen and paper or journal to do some gratitude, right? To be raising your vibration for that. All right. So with that, you're going to light your white candle that you have. And then as you look into the flame, you're going to declare through your own divinely channeled truths from your higher self, source, God, universe, your desire and commitment to be a conduit through which these manifestations have been intended and shall be created into this physical realm. Okay? Then once you light that and you declare your intention for your ritual, for your experience, and when we do a group, obviously I lead the whole thing, and we're all we all do it collectively, and it's just always so magical and so powerful and profound, and it's fucking awesome. I just cannot express it enough. But I've always been blessed to have so many amazing goddesses in the group as well, that every goddess who's been there has helped to make it what it is. So I'm really excited to be doing this again at the end of next month. So stay tuned for when it officially opens up for you to claim your spot. So that's coming. All right. So number one, again, you're going to light your candle, declare your intention. Number two, you're going to read each desired manifestation. Now, I will point out, so obviously, just a tip, you have your fire safe container. You're going to light your candle, and you want to do a thing after you do your intention with your candle. You're going to want to put your candle down, like do a couple drops of wax on your fire safe container. Make sure it's one of those where you can put that there. And then mount your candle in that wax, okay? So that it's all set up there and it's gonna be able to burn down. So that's the thing about your fire safe container, is you wanna make sure it's something that you don't mind it gets all waxy for a moment, okay? All right, thus a fire safe container here. All right, so you have your candle sitting there in your little fire safe container and you're burning that. You're going to want to read each desired manifestation, and you want to visualize, you want to feel. Listen, when I was doing my 555 technique, because this, I had this, but it wasn't as detailed as it is now. So I was really driving home that 555 technique and that affirmation that I was affirming. And I had, listen, goddesses, I had the same song on repeat that put me in that energy. I was smelling the food of India. So I'm hearing the music, I'm smelling the food, I'm closing my eyes and I'm visualizing what it is to be there. And I, again, went there and back, did the whole trip, full completion. In less than 90 days, like it was just under 90 days, you can create phenomenal things like that. You're that powerful, okay? All right, so again, visualize, feel, and know as if each one is already made real, because each one has. Once we desire something, when we get clear on what we do want, and this is the key here, right? This is why we release that other garbage, is because that focuses, that causes us to focus on things we don't want. And that's how we end up getting stuck in that and perpetuating that, right? So you want to focus on what you do want. This is why it's so important to be clear on what you're desiring to manifest. So you can keep reading that and focusing on that and feeding that so that you're growing that instead of watering the weeds over here, right? It is already real in the ethereal realm. The universe, God, source, whatever label, has already provided it through our inspired thought and feeling to desire it. It is only the perceived limitations, big word, perceived. We've been taught to perceive them as well. perceived limitations of this physical realm that creates a time gap to make it real here. That's all you got to do, is you just got to close the gap. You have to, in fact, let me rephrase that. You don't close it. You allow for the gap to close by you doing the work on you that you need to do in order to surrender and allow the gap to close and let in what you're calling in. Damn, this is good. Okay? And then step number 3. After you've gone through all your manifestations, you felt them, you visualized them. That's why you have plenty of time with this candle, I promise you. You visualize, you felt into them, you've let it flow out, right? Then you're going to, with your candle in, again, your fire safe container, so make sure it's big enough for you. We usually, the people, the goddesses that we've done this with, some have rolled it up before and done it this way. I sometimes, just to minimize the area, I often just fold it and then I'll light that and then I'll set that, obviously it's not folded there, but then I'll set that in the fire safe container. We're not playing with fire here. I mean, we're harnessing the power of it, okay? Because what we're doing here is we are using that because passion is akin to fire, right? So you are igniting your passion and making it manifest. That's what we're doing by harnessing the powers of the manifesting moon, is you are utilizing all of these energies available to you to be creating in all the ways that you can and harnessing your power in all the ways you can so that you can be stepping into what you want to be stepping into. All right, so I say carefully, that's the first word on step 3 here. Carefully ignite and burn the paper with the flame of the candle. As it burns, you can make your own declaration from the following, or you may use this one. And so I have my own divinely channeled, and this is the original that was a download, because it was actually someone who we were talking about moon rituals, and she was like, I've never done one of those. And I said, you know what? I got one for you. And literally went home that night and this whole download came for this process. I mean, like I've said, it's now since been expanded a bit. As we do, we expand and we grow. However, this is the original declaration from the original new moon download that came. So you'll want to do that. And that comes in this book. Okay, I'll read it for you all. Sure, I'll read it. As this flame ignites and fuels my intentions written by my own hand upon this paper, so does it fuel and expand my desire within to fulfill the manifestations therein. I am a powerful being connected to and backed by the divine, a conduit through which inspiration and positive intentions flow as universal source expands itself through my experiences in this realm of infinite creative possibilities. I surrender these desired manifestations to the universe as I release all fears and doubts surrounding them for transmutation. I am fully open to receive the guidance of inspired action to fulfill each soulful and heart-centered desire for the highest good of all. So be it, so it is. That is the declaration that you may use. And like I said, obviously it is in the book that comes in this kit. And then the final step has a couple little sub-steps, and this will close out our new moon ritual process here. As the candle burns to an end, this is when you want to get your book and your pen, and you want to continue to be in this aligned state of being with what you desire to be creating. And how you're going to sustain that is through gratitude. You want to just draw it out as long as possible. So, make a gratitude list in your journal. Make a gratitude list. We usually, in the group experiences, we usually do a good 5 minutes for sure. Sometimes longer, because then we, get into pulling some cards at the end for sure. So first though, express gratitude. Align with your desires by expressing gratitude for the abundance of this world and the gifts therein, for the manifestations already being made real and that which you are. Okay? And I put in parentheses here, so often we neglect to acknowledge our own selves as the uniquely divine gift we each truly are in this world and entire universe. Thank you, Goddess Jen. You rock. You rock. All right. So after you've done at least 5 minutes of gratitude and really amplified that energy, right? Because so you're fueling your manifestation, right? You just went through this ritual. You just declared, felt, visualized, connected with your vision. Now you're continuing to be in that space, and you're expressing gratitude for what you already have, for what you're about to have, but you're expressing it in present tense, always present tense, right? Because otherwise it keeps it at bay, all right? You're going to then amplify your vision. And this actually gets us into the middle phase between the new moon and the full moon, which is definitely a lot of deep diving. It's shadow work, it's journaling, it's prompts. And again, all of that we're going in here, and it's expanding further into your vision beyond what you have created for the initial. So there's definitely so much more, and that's why it's an entire month program. It's an entire month group experience. And we go through every phase together. We work on all of this together. We work through any blocks, any potential, well, not potential, any certain challenges you are sure to have along this journey. Because if you're not being challenged, then you're not growing. You're not being given the opportunity to grow. And guess what? You're here to grow. Just so you know, some days it gets tiresome, I know, but you're here to grow. Okay. So that, again, that's all in this. But so I'm going to leave you with that part. And you have plenty to be doing between, yesterday. How much is the kit? The entire kit actually comes with, it's a kit and the experience. It's a whole group coaching experience, and the kit actually comes with the experience. And that's what the book is about, so that you have that and can follow along in the book, as well as be able to redo it. It's a month-long group experience. It's only $222 for the entire month. Like I said, you will get the kit, all the tools, everything you need to do it. You're going to have a private group support with other goddesses also in this journey and participating. We'll have 2 live Zoom rituals that we do together, the whole process. Everybody gets to be a part of it. And like I said, everybody is in the private group working through the entire process together. So, and it's only $222 for everything. No extra for shipping, nothing. It's all inclusive for all of that. And because it's part of the high vibe thing, did I bring that book in here? No, I did not bring my little calendar. I knew there was one thing I had left. But you'll get to go to a goddess party. So there's actually going to be 3 Zoom experiences. So one's a goddess party, just to raise your vibration, to shake off the shit, shimmy it off, whatever you need to do. And so we're going to have that as well. So the goddess party, to keep your vibration up and to, like I said, process through and release all that. So it's a whole massive package, and you are going to feel like a truly, totally better version, more empowered version of yourself at the end of it, because you're going to have gained all of this additional experience and wisdom and confidence in your power to harness this energy of the moon, your power to create what it is you want to be creating. And you're going to see so much more how much power you really truly have once you begin to be really intentional, really dialed in, really focused in on what it is you're creating and actually putting into practices that will align with you allowing what you desire to flow in. You are so welcome, Goddess Jen. You rock too. I appreciate you. So stay tuned for the announcements. Be sure you are following me on, like I said, on these accounts. Check back regularly. You can even send me a DM and say, hey, please, I want the link as soon as it goes live because I want in on this. All right. And let me know that. So DM me for that. I've started posting, I've actually on TikTok, I've posted now 2 of the Rainbow Peacock or Pyrite video samples. They're just samples. They're going to be random stones that you'll end up with, but they're just, oh my gosh. I didn't even know this existed till about 1.5 years ago. So I love that. Like I've known labradorite, I've known, I've known agates, but an agate geode, and especially one that was dyed, because I didn't even realize it was. And normally, I'm not a fan of something being dyed. I want it natural. However, this is a perfect opportunity for us to acknowledge that sometimes when organic is merged with inorganic, natural with synthetic, we can create its own kind of art. It can, and especially when it creates a balance like this does, it's really quite beautiful to see all the gorgeous swirls and patterns and everything in here. Like, I love every one of these. I love every single one of these that I have. So stay tuned. I'm going to be posting those. And what's awesome about the agate geodes is these babies are numbered. These actually have an item number. So if I post one, and I will be making sure I label the number, if there is one that I post and you're like, that one's mine, I want that kit with that agate geode, that part you do get to choose. You do get to choose which agate geode you would like out of the collection. You get first dibs on that puppy. So when it hits, you're the first one to comment. So you definitely want to follow on TikTok. They're going to be coming on YouTube for sure as well. So let me know. Now, obviously, if they're claimed, I'll notate that if I post it on another platform. So you'll know that that one's been claimed. But it looks like because of where I am with TikTok, and it definitely has such a big engagement, big reach, that's where I tend to post a lot of my stuff first. Plus, TikTok wants me to post like 3 or 4 videos a day. So, okay, I'll do that. But with that, this is number 1, right? And like I said, the videos that I have that I'll be posting, you're going to see them better. You're going to have a better view of what they look like, okay? Because this live really isn't so good. And because there's an overlay on my screen where it says orientation is locked, rotate device back, even though I've rotated it, like a shade, a shadow kind of thing that it has on the screen. So yeah, but be on the lookout for those. Those are coming as well. And like I said, if you are fuck yes, for doing this and you know this already, send me a DM and say, I want in. And as soon as the link goes live, because here's the other catch, not catch, but here's the thing. I do smaller experiences. I have literally a maximum of 27 people that I am looking. In fact, for this round, I only have 21 of these agate geodes. 21 varieties for you to pick one. Okay? So once those, then I'll cycle and update the kit, and it will be a different kind of set in some way, right? So with that, yes, let me know. Goddess Jen says, it's fine, you look great, and the stones are beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm feeling good. I'm so grateful that I went ahead and went live, even though my own sabotage was rearing her ugly head, right? So let me move this out the way over here. Move a little bit here. And all of this can hang out while I'm here. And let's, you know what? These have been talking a lot lately. We're going to pull a couple cards. So those of y'all who are still in the room, we got a little bit of time left. I'm willing to stay on. Let's pull a card. Who would like a card tonight? Well, for now, let's start with, obviously we have a collective reading here. Past lives. Because that's what we're doing. We are healing not just this life. And that's the challenge that we tend to overlook at times, is that your soul is what's infinite. And it's lived many lives, many things that it's agreed to learn, agreed to fulfill certain contracts, right? So we collectively, both individually and collectively, are healing serious past life shit. Okay? So in case you were wondering, there's your confirmation. Goddess Jen says, me please. Woo woo. Let's do this for you. Look at that. Looky there. Ooh, support. Ask for help. Get more rest. Nurture yourself. So you're the only one that can let it in. You're the only one that can let it in. And I know I'm hearing that and this is definitely something that so many people feel. And so I want to say that you're not alone. If you feel like you're asking a lot when you ask someone for help, if you maybe feel like you're going to be a burden, you see, this is why we have people in our lives who love us. This is why you're in other people's lives that you love. Is because wouldn't you rather someone that you love say, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can I have your input on this? Can I get your feedback? Whatever it is that you're asking. And first and foremost, it doesn't hurt to ask. And second, if that person is in the position to give you what you are needing at no detriment to themselves, then by all means, would that not be what you would want them to do, or what they would want to do, or what you would want to do for them? So it's really important that you allow yourself to also be helped. See, Goddess Jen says, yes, I'm very independent, but love to help others. I can be super hyper independent as well. And do you know that hyper independence is actually the result of trauma? Of feeling that you really couldn't count on anybody, so you got to do it all yourself. That's what I've learned and I've heard, and it's recognizing that if you were criticized, if you felt abandoned, if you felt as though you always, for the most part, had to fend for yourself or do for yourself or be the one thing that you could count on, yeah, it can be challenging. Or if you were made to feel like you were a burden, it can be very, very challenging, because it's like, again, it's a trauma response to then go, oh, never mind, I'll just do it myself. I'll just do it myself. Even though there are things that may be better to ask someone else for that help. Plus, sometimes it's so much better to have someone to help carry the load if they're able to help carry that load. We got dogs a-barking. So, you know, let me give you a power of surrender. So how, in what way, through surrendering, is Goddess Jen to be allowing or needing to allow support for herself so that she's making sure her cup is full too? Wow. You got 3. Number 1. Cannot make this up. You just cannot make this up. Surrender to receiving support and love. Oh, yeah. Always have felt that I had to grow up early age 8. My first dad passed, so I helped with my siblings. Yeah. As a big sister myself who was left to babysit starting at about, 10, age 9, 10 years old, being left at the house by ourselves out in the country. I get it. It was all on you. You had to grow up fast. You had to be the one to take all that responsibility, and you didn't get to be a kid much, did you? Yeah. It's your turn. That's why you're on this inner child healing journey. That's why you're on this healing journey to begin with, is so that you can be allowing yourself to receive love and support now. It's okay to ask for and receive support. Start small. Maybe it's something where, you got a friend coming over and they weren't planning to stop somewhere, but it's on their way. And you say, hey, would you maybe mind picking up this thing for me? I can Venmo you now. I mean, even if that's what you're concerned with, right? Or, I got cash when you get here, right? So it's starting small and letting the universe support you. I could have when my dad came in our life, but I didn't know how. Well, and if we don't know how to do something, or we don't know something, then we don't know it. And that's nothing to feel bad about, to feel shame, to feel as though, or to even feel in that space of, but I wish I would have known, that's still in that space of a form of like regret and kind of, you see how I just physically responded in that way, like, oh, I didn't know, right? It shrinks you, it dims your light, right? Be like, I did the best I could with what I knew. See the difference in that? So that's another way to surrender to receiving support and love, to really begin to acknowledge for yourself how fucking awesome you are, how amazing you are, because you were so strong. You are so strong, and you had to be strong for everybody else. Now it's being strong for yourself, but also being soft yet strong. Starting to acknowledge for yourself that, again, you did this. You did this. You were the one that carried yourself and these other spaces. Like, really begin to love on yourself, to give yourself that support in that way, to be your own cheerleader. How often do we do that, right? So continuing, surrender your fear of intimacy. Maybe you actually want to be in an intimate relationship, and I know how challenging this can be when you're hyper independent, right? You're like, but I don't want to relinquish any of my power, any of my space, or have anybody have any sort of power over me or my environment. Well, at some point, you have to learn to truly trust yourself. And that's why we surrender to really making connections with others. We surrender ourselves into that space, because as you allow for greater trust of others, it actually is allowing for greater trust for yourself, that no matter what others do or don't do, You got you. You got you. You got you, babe. And then when someone comes into your world, they're supposed to make it that much better. It's supposed to amplify what's already amazing in you and your life. And look, they're the same color suite, right? Same color suite. And your third card, Goddess, wow. Well, right there, and I can see it. That's why this card, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. I've always done everything myself. It's not a coincidence at all that that is still her last comment on the screen. Because you don't have to do everything by yourself, Goddess. The more you let in the world, not just a romantic partner, that's not specifically what intimacy is. It also means letting the world see you. Letting yourself be vulnerable here and there. And letting yourself be supported so that you can process and release what needs to be processed and released and shifted. Maybe your a new mantra needs to be, I am open and allowing myself to receive all the support and love that I have so freely and eagerly given to so many others. That it's time for the world to pour more back into you. Like, you can put down some of that, Goddess. You can put it down. Thank you. I'm going to try. Sometimes when I get to that word and I feel like I'm going to admonish on that word. I am one of those where I've learned through all these years and I have taught this way because I feel it's like a leaky balloon. Right? It's like there's a hole in your balloon. A tiny little pinprick that they got poked into the balloon without popping it, right? You're letting air out. You're leaking air. So you're leaking energy when you say, I'm going to try. So if we say a complete sentence, and we say, I am going to try to change and let love in more or allow myself to be supported. I am going to try to allow myself to be supported more. There we go. Let's make it more simple here, right? I am going to try. Like I almost didn't even say it because it's so not in my vocabulary to say try. I'm going to try to change, to let in the love, to let in the support, to allow myself to be supported. If you go back to the very beginning, I am going to try, or I am trying to let in. There's two verbs perceivably there, right? Trying and let in. Which do you actually want to achieve? Do you want to continue to be in trying, or you want to be letting in? I am letting it in. I am doing it. I am doing it. I am letting it in. I am deserving of this. I know I deserve this. That's a huge, huge empowerment tool and tip, is to, again, like we were talking about with you're writing out your vision. You want to write it out. Whenever you are affirming anything, you want to affirm it in the now. How can you rephrase it and reframe it so that you are embodied in that state right now? So I am doing it. I am shifting it. I am letting it in. I am surrendering. I am loving myself. I am allowing myself to be supported. I am allowing myself to be loved. Do you all see how that feels so different than I'm trying to let myself be loved. I'm trying to let it's so powerful once you become aware of how the words you speak affect you, how they have an impact on your actual physical presence, your energetic state of being. You've got this, Goddess. You have done so much you have done in your life. You got this. You got this. You can tap into this so easy and be able to go, oh, okay. No, that's not the direction I want to go with this. I want to go this way. You got it. You do. All right, let me see. Anybody? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was checking to see if anybody was text or comment or wanting a card over here. I'm going to go ahead and sign off on my Instagram since it's very quiet there. It's usually very quiet, very quick. And it got quiet pretty quickly over here on TikTok because, for one, I wasn't doing just straight card readings all night. I wanted to go over the Manifesting Moon experience. So with that, yes, be sure, like I said, DM me if you definitely want to be in the Manifesting Moon experience next month. I'm so excited! And I'm done sabotaging myself and denying all of us this magical, powerful freaking experience that is, again, so loved. I can't wait for you all to start hearing what all the feedback has been through the years of doing it, out of the mouths of the very goddesses who have done it. And that is something that I do like to do, is obviously I disclaimer at the very end of our rituals and such. And I ask for, if there's any part of this, if you want to offer up, your feedback, particularly after the full moon ritual. And then I can share that. You can share that with others who want to know why they would want to join such an awesome experience. So with that, if there are no other cards requested, I am going to be calling it for a night. I'm going to go ahead and say peace out on Instagram. Namaste. Power's in your hands because it's always been inside you. All right. And that, let me go ahead and shut that off. Oh, what's going on here? You got to push it just the right way. All right. Thank you, Goddess Jen, for all the likes. And I am super stoked about how my live stream went on TikTok or on YouTube tonight. Yay! So the replay is going to be available on my YouTube channel like that. It's under the live stream tab. That's where it's going to be saved as. So with that, thank you, Goddess Jen. I appreciate you. And we'll be seeing you again very soon. I plan to be live. It'll probably be earlier in the day, Saturday afternoon. I have Saturday evening plans. And yeah, but for sure, I'll be back live again. And just keep in touch. Follow, subscribe, like, DM me, comment here on YouTube. And obviously you all can always go to my website, empowermentexperiences.com, and you can send me a message there. You can also sign up on my email list. So you can, that's at empowermentexperiences.com too. There's a little sign up down there. All right, with that, peace and out. Remember, because I'm here to remind you. So you remember that the power, it is in your hands. I promise you. Because that power has always, always been inside you. Namaste.